Hello and welcome to another episode of My Crypto World. I just got out of the shower. I've been in the mountains this morning, and then when I come home I had a little bit of grass to mow. One of the first things you've probably noticed if you've been watching this little show that I do, starting with the last episode, I shortened the intro of each show. I always knew it was too long, but I kind of liked it. It was something I did. I kind of described how people, I guess, looked at me or whatever. But I know it was always too long, so I shortened it to where it's just a very short intro. Then it gets into what I want to talk about. My hopes is that with the shorter intro that you will actually watch more of the episode. I do feel like there's some pretty good information scattered throughout all the episodes. Ever how many there are now, I'm not even sure. But this morning I wanted to go to the mountains and set my game cams. So I went back to my my Bigfoot area where I've been researching for the last 4 or 5 years, where I've had some good success. That's where I found a track line over 30 tracks, various stick structures and X's and TP types things, juvenile tracks. Got the one game cam photo, numerous times of different kinds of sounds, which from some of those sounds I'm not for sure if it was Bigfoot or something else, but it was possible. The sounds wasn't anything that I think a bear or squirrel would make. What else went on there? Oh, that is also the area where that was probably my second trip in there, and I was setting game cams up. Instead, I found the track line. There'd already been a witness, actually 3 sightings in about like a 2-week period, and I was going in there to set up game cams, and I heard voices talking, or well, word of one voice, and it had to be a Bigfoot. That there was nobody else there. But it was just far enough out of my earshot where I couldn't make out any words, which I may not have been able to make out any words anyways. But you've probably been like that, where you can hear people talking, but they're just far enough away that you can't really make out what they're saying. That's what it sounded like to me. At the time, I'd never experienced hearing Bigfoot talk like that. So I did film some of it. I didn't get it on. I didn't get the voice on recorder because of I actually had my backpack off and was getting my cameras out to set up. And this was close to me when I heard it talk. It was close to me. At first, I thought it was some of my family coming to check on me. But once I got home, I know it wasn't them because they was gone. But I think at the time I had a handheld camera, and I was documenting. I was holding the camera up and talking to the camera and documenting the tracks and what I found and stuff like that. And I thought maybe that the Bigfoot was mimicking what I was doing, talking to the camera or whatever. I thought maybe it was mimicking me, but it was close. Man, it was a real feeling of fear, because it was so close. I couldn't see it. There was some mountain laurel like thicket there, and it was pretty heavy thicket. And I couldn't see what was making the voice, and you couldn't hear it move around neither, that's why I think that's one of the problems with trying to find Bigfoot or document Bigfoot, that they can move so quietly through the forest. You may be around them and never know it. But anyways, I went ahead and set that game camera, and I did film around some, and I've looked through it before, see if I could find anything and stuff, and it's just too thick, you can't see anything. But that was probably, that was when I made my first documentary film, Bigfoot Tracking a Legend, and it was pretty crappy, but it's got some good stuff in it. My camera quality then was real bad. I've got better cameras now, but and I've done everything myself. I've done the filming, the editing, the narration, and all the cut scenes and titles and all that. And there's some errors in it, spelling errors and everything. And sometimes people rib me over it or don't understand, but when you work with something every day for hour after hour after hour, you kind of get snowblind to it. The earls, you just don't see them. But I feel like I've got better in doing my filmmaking and the books and things like that. The first book's got some earls in it too, but you're kind of under a pressure to get it out at a certain time, and you have to kind of work fast to go, to get through it and try to fix spelling errors and things like that, or bad cut timing and stuff like that. So it's a difficult task. So, but it's Bigfoot Tracking a Legend. That was the one that started me making films, I suppose. I've always done a few little things along, but nothing to that scale, I don't guess, where I had to do everything myself. And when I say scale, but today, what I did today, I went back over to this area I was telling you about, where I heard the voice and documented it for years. And I set up 3 game cams. I got more game cams, but I want to put 3 out because it's getting close to deer hunting time, and chance of losing them, is greater, I guess. 2 of the cameras, I got them set to video. One of the cameras, which is a new camera I just bought, is a HD camera. But really the number one reason I wanted it was that it does audio. It also records audio. But the only drawback that I don't like about the camera, it's a Browning, is that, and really it's not a bad feature, is at night when it takes the live video, it only takes a 10-second block, and it does this to save battery, of course. That's what the user's manual said, and that's okay, I understand that. But I'm hoping that during that 10 seconds, maybe if it is filming a deer or a bird or whatever, if it's at night, that during that 10 seconds I also get the audio from the surrounding area. Chances of catching something I know would be slim, but I do know Bigfoot's in the area, and that gives me a little better chance of capturing some audio from that area. Like I said earlier, I've had several audio events happen there, but I've never been fortunate enough to actually catch them on camera or on any kind of audio equipment. I've had them, it's usually like I've turned my camera off, or I'm walking out, or something. It's always when you got your equipment off, something holler at you or whatever. So I'm hopeful that I can catch something that way, or even through the camera. That I might catch pictures or video, because out of the 3 cameras, 2 of them do video, like I said, and one of them does still photography, and it does a real good job. When I was recently gone on vacation, I set it up out back behind my house just to monitor in case anybody was to try to break in or was messing around back in my house. And the pictures were good and crisp on it. Didn't have nothing but my dogs fooling around out back, and that's okay. They made it keep an eye on everything. But also in that area, well, really just in general, in my whole area where my Bigfoot researcher, where I live, seems like the sightings have decreased over the last couple of years. In like 2013 and part of 14, there was a lot of sightings and a lot of found foot tracks and things like that, even for me personally and for other people around in this area. But it seemed like on a national level that over the last couple of years, sightings have declined. Now, why that is so, I don't really know. Maybe harsh winters, some of them died off. Maybe through old age, some of them died off, or maybe it's just migration, which I'm not a big person on Bigfoot migration. I think maybe they might migrate in certain areas where the temperature gets real cold. As far as my area, I don't think they really migrate any. They may follow some of the food sources deeper into the mountains or something like that, but I don't think they migrate per se, at least in my area. Now, in places where the temperatures get real cold, which we do have some cold days, but don't last, 2 or 3 days worth of real cold weather, and then next thing you know, you're back up in the 60s. But in places where maybe real cold climate, there's a possibility they may migrate to either a warmer area or a area that's got better, better food source. But I've noticed in like where I've been researching over there, set those cameras today, that over the last couple of years I've not had much activity. I think part of that was due to some of the state trucks was coming on the mountain across from there and getting field dirt for where the road had slid off, and they made a lot of racket. The trucks was loud, and you could hear the tailgates of the trucks when they dumped. You could hear them smack, and it just echoed forever. So I think that drove the Bigfoot deeper back into the mountains. I think I know where they might have went, but it is a very long hike, mostly uphill, and you want to do it on a day where you don't think it's going to rain, and hopefully that on a day that the temperatures are cooler. I do plan on going back there deeper. I've went pretty deep back in there, but there's another area that goes way on back, and it's around some big huge rocks and cliffs, and that's where I really think they might have drawn back to. Doing over today, that was the first time I'd been there in probably about maybe 2 or 3 months. So I was trying to let the area die down a little bit in hopes that activity would, pick back up, which I didn't really see anything today that I could say was anything fresh Bigfoot sign. I looked for some tracks and done a few wood knocks, things like that. Actually, I filmed all that, and there's a video. I'll probably, but by the time you see this, that video will be up at Research Video will, and I will try to link to it with the little icon at the top here, and you can view that if you haven't. What else can I tell you about today? What we're talking about, the decline in Bigfoot sightings. I don't know. Maybe it's just a cycle it goes through. Every 2 or 3 years, maybe there's more sightings due to more births, or maybe there's more sightings due to better weather, or lack of food supply, or something increases the sightings. But I know for at least the last year and a half, 2 years, that sightings in general have kind of been on the decline. I don't really know why, but I know in my area it's been really bad. I do have, from months ago, I've got some audio that I do need to go through, and I've never went through it. Maybe there's something on there, because I have recorded what I thought was voices here. This is in a different area than what I was speaking of before, but I can't say for sure if that's what it was. It sounded like 2 or 3 people talking, but you couldn't make out anything. When I say people, I mean it could have been Bigfoot, it could have been people, but I don't think it would have been people 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I got some other audio that I recorded for several nights worth. I've had it for months. I've not had a chance to, I've not took the time. I've had the chance. I've not took the time to sift through it and look for stuff. So I'll try not to keep this, make this video too long. I know some of you guys probably get bored when you hear me talk. One other thing, I do tentatively have a plan to go in September to go to a witness's house who had an encounter, and we are going to go to the area of his encounter. He had had some health problems, but he got them. It was something that they could fix. So he's doing a lot better. I kind of put us off for a little while on doing anything. Then I got a birthday coming up in September, and my wife's got a birthday at the end of August. So that kind of ties me up from going to the witness. So, but after those are out of the way, we're going to try to plan a Saturday trip where we can go to the area and talk to the witness and interview him and stuff like that. Also, I want to tell you about something else. I want to tell you about, I just released another book. I Saw a UFO, Mysteries of the Sky. It's only been out just maybe a couple of weeks or something. It contains stories of some personal sightings that I've had over the years. It also contains several witness testimony of what they saw in various places, but there's a couple of real intriguing stories in it that were told to me personally One of them is by a former NASA worker, and another one is from an Army medic. They're in there. They're really good, interesting stories. Makes a person really think. I'd appreciate it if you guys would maybe support us on that and buy that. It's also available on Kindle, which is that's the cheapest way to go. There'll be a link down in the description, or you can just search on Amazon or Barnes & Noble and get it that way. So it's kind of interesting. I got some more things planned. I got several different books I've been working on over time, and I got one in particular that I'm going to I'll hopefully start it pretty soon. I really want to sit down and do it over just a few days. I mean, I really want to write it because it's a true story. Happened to me when we lived in a haunted house. Well, I hate to say it's haunted. It was a house that had stuff going on in it because it wasn't scary to me. But I hope to write about that and make it into a book. And still activity in that house today. So I don't live in that house anymore, but there's still activity, and I know the people who do because it's my parents that live in it. But anyways, I got that going on, and I do have in the back of my mind, I have a new video project I'm wanting to work on, but it'll probably be a year down the road or more. I want to go slow on it and see if I can't make something real good. But it's been I guess it's probably been a little while since I did a My Crypto World episode because I've been busy and we went on vacation, and I had to put in a hot water tank, and I had a lot of stuff to do. But maybe I'm getting some more little free time now, so maybe I can get back to doing more research and more traveling and stuff like that. I was able to get a newer model truck. My other truck had over 225,000 miles on it. It was still a great truck, but I traded in and got me a newer truck with less miles, and so hopefully that'll let me travel to more locations. Not that the other truck was anything wrong with it, but if you get on the interstate with something that's got over 200,000 miles and you're driving it, 70, 80 mile an hour, it's it's subject to something which you knew and could too, but you feel more confident with one that's newer and got less miles. So hopefully that'll let me get out and talk to more witnesses and go to more areas. But that's about it, I guess, for today. So as always, I thank you guys for watching my little crazy episodes of My Crypto World. I hope you find some of the information useful or at least interesting, and I hope you get to know a little bit more about me. Until the next episode, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.